particularly chilling conversation with a client recently that I want to share with you, because I think it's very relevant for a lot of us who were raised by narcissists. And the reason that I differentiate my work between those who are raised by narcissists and those who meet a narcissist later in life is that there is some vibrational resonance to the self that one gets to go back to once they've encountered narcissistic abuse, which those of us who are raised by narcissists, especially if we were secluded from other people who could have been mentors for us, and we really only had that one caregiver who was that person, and they didn't have our back, but they always had our back up against the wall facing them. We never had a room with a view. Right? We never had the opportunity to be safe and play, to dream up what we might want in life. Maybe some people would say, oh, I just sat and I dreamed up things in my room, but those people might have had more opportunity actually to be at rest in their own rhythm versus somebody who is raised by a narcissist that is you're going to override constantly to the point of, if you're not broken and you're not dead, I don't care if you've maxed out at your threshold, you're going to keep moving, right? So even in childhood play, there didn't get to be play. So there was no dream space, right? There was, of course, I have these very physical overt experiences that I can use to demonstrate what happens energetically to some people, but I would just simply be playing, and to transition from we have to stop playing now to the next thing, I would be hit out of my play, wake up, let's go, it's time to go. That's very jolting and awakening to a child who's not actually supposed to be awake in their hypnotic space, right? They're supposed to be I'm playing, I'm honoring my animal, I'm honoring my rhythm, I'm gonna take a nap when I need to, I'm gonna play when I need to, and they don't get woken up out of that play. But for a lot of us, we were constantly woken up out of that play so much that we never actually got to rest and we never got to dream. So what happens is then we wake up and we go, whoa, I've been under a cloud of narcissistic abuse my entire life, and that is the fog that I've been going, why does it look easy for other people? I don't understand. And other people could say, oh, I had this dream and I knew I'd get here. I work with a lot of people who go, I knew I'd get here too. So don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people who I see in my life who go, oh, I totally knew I'd get here. I had this dream since I was a kid. And there's another demographic, which is more aligned to me, which goes, I never had a dream. I just kind of survived until I ended up here. And then I woke up and I realized, one, I never had a dream. And two, all these other people are meeting their dreams, turning their dreams into a reality, and I don't even know what mine is. I wouldn't even know where to start because I just kind of got here. I'm just awakening in this new reality where I go, oh, I never did dream, and I'm actually coming awake now. And the irony here is my client said, oh, well, if I never really got to dream, how do I create that process? And my very visceral instinct was, well, now is the time to rest. If you want to get back to dreaming, you have to get to rest, right? And immediately, for people like us, and this is what came to her, because she's literally my ideal client, she said, and there's this vacillation between, if I'm either, rest to us means I'm laying in a bed asleep, right? But rest to children means, yeah, I don't want to take a nap now. I'm going to play in my room, or I am having a conversation with somebody and I'm at rest in my way of relating to this person. I'm not stressed out. I'm not anxious. I'm literally in a way of being that is at rest, just like an animal would be, until all of a sudden they have to use all of that way of being to make momentum. And even still, I believe, watching them, that they're in a state of rest when they do it. So we go, oh, if I'm tired, that must mean I'm depressed, right? Or if I'm tired, that must mean I should go to sleep. But what we do even more than that is we go, oh, I'm feeling relaxed. I must be tired. I should go to sleep. I must be depressed. Instead of going, oh, I'm feeling, and this is a new awakening, right? Because to people like us, relax feels like a command, which is something that I wrote in Earn Your Luck. We're that's one more command we don't know how to do. Nobody ever taught us how to do that. What do you mean relax? It's insulting to hear that, because the body is not capable of doing what you're being told to do by the mind. So that space of childhood rest is what we need to get back to in order to start dreaming again. a real dream. And it's funny because in a lot of ways, I never had a dream, and I ended up, and thank God I did, because I did a lot of work to get out of my own way about the fact that like, I ended up in a better place than I could have dreamed up given my circumstances, to be fair, and I mean that with an internal currency. Had I seen other people having this currency and I couldn't have seen a way to get to it, I would have been in insane resistance and hated it, thought it was fake, not believed it, and been really triggered. But the restful place that we get to when we wake up, and it's weird because you're like, dude, I'm behind the curve. Like, I didn't even know that I was like under the reign of a narcissist my whole life, and that was my problem. I'm behind the curve, and now I'm just waking up, and now all these people, I'm seeing all these people who are like got to be children when they were children, living their dreams as adults, and that's very triggering because then I go, the only way I know how to pick from dreams is to pick other people's dreams instead of being the restful space of the dreamer. Right? That is you. We go, I see that dream and I see that dream, and which one should I pick? And we look out there and we try to catch up with all those dreams, and they're not our dreams. So when we awaken from this place of, I have survived just to get here. I've never been the child that got to play, that got to know its rhythm, that got to trust its rhythm, that got to go to the bathroom when it needed to, and take a rest when it needed to, and play when it needed to, which is by and large what every species on the planet does and needs to be a successful grown mammal, right? If you don't get to do that and you wake up to the awareness that you didn't get to do that, you're a different animal, right? And that chapter is a space where we can go, I'm going to be at rest now because I have this awareness, and my new foundation is actually a foundation of rest instead of a foundation of not having a foundation and constantly overriding the void to avoid the foundation, right? So be at rest. And when I said this to her, I actually said, oh my God, I think that this is I want to say to people who die, actually live in peace, not rest in peace. And there's a concept in A Course in Miracles that says that actually we are to be the people who are resting in peace while we're alive, right? The resting gets us back to a place where we can sleep long enough in our delta space and our theta space to dream our own dream, not everybody else's dream, right? And it's insulting because it's like, dude, it's going to take me longer. I feel like I'm going to have longer to catch up. But I deeply believe that for people like us, the momentum that will be created when we learn to rest and really learn to ground into our own center and rest in our own rhythm and not override it, and not judge ourselves for being at it, and not try to push ourselves past threshold just because that's what we had to do. That space of rest teaches us something. And it's an intangible something that everybody who got to experience that place of rest when they should have, when they were children, they just innately have. They innately have that fullness of their own rhythm, that fullness of their own sense of self, that fullness that I will think of the world also, but I will also think of myself. Myself is what I will first think of so that I can consider you, but it's not the other way around, which is the way it's been for a lot of us, is I'm going to consider you first and then I will consider myself. If you have not woken up to a life in which you go, oh yeah, this is my dream because I dreamed it up, and it was your soul's work getting you to this place, which is great, awesome, go for your soul, good for your soul, but it wasn't the alignment of your physical body with your soul doing it. It was all soul work for you, and you're trying to get your body to catch up. If that's where you are, congratulations, you have reached a chapter in which you're allowed to rest. And this is literally an infancy phase, and it doesn't mean that you have to sleep all the time. It means you can sleep all the time, and you don't have to equate sleeping with depression or sleeping with dissociation or avoidance. You can just sleep because that's what your rhythm in this particular chapter is calling for you to know about yourself. So if you are just waking up from this, oh my God, I've been under the thumb of narcissistic abuse my entire life, so I never got to dream, congratulations, you're in the place where you can rest long enough to dream. And that doesn't mean, no, you don't have to go to work, you don't have to do all these things, but there is a vibrational space that you could be at rest within yourself once you give yourself the opportunity to know yourself at rest, right? And it's when it's not a command, it's a oh, this is what they did. There's a vibrational frequency of being the child who is at play, so focused, hyper focused on their play, that nothing could pull them out of that focus, right? And that focus for them is at peace. It is not, I'm playing because I have to manipulate these things to get them to do what I want them to do, and then blah, blah. It's, oh, I'm going to move my toy here, and I'm going to move my toy here, and I'm going to clash my toys, and I'm going to do this because this, for me, is a way of rest. It's a way of playing with my symbols of life experience while I'm in a vibrational state of rest. And that is the place that we get to come to before we start grounding our future dreams into our current reality, when we allow ourselves to rest in a way that and honor our rhythm instead of judging our rhythm in a way that wasn't allowed when we were children. So be at rest. And to all of your beings who are no longer in the physical, I hope you are living in peace, right? Yeah, be at rest. Your dreams, you don't have to conjure up dreams, because if you're conjuring them up from other people's dreams, you're going to just pull bits and pieces of other people's dreams, and it's going to feel resistant because you're going to be so far from your physical reality, and you're going to feel like you have so much catching up to do. Be at rest where you are. This is the definition of staying in your lane. This is the definition of, okay, just like let the baby take a nap. Don't wake the baby. Let her sleep until 10 if she's tired. Let her, I understand that there are life obligations, but there is also this like, okay, honor that rhythm that is the baby. Even if you have to override it, be gentle with it. Instead of like, okay, I don't care that you're not feeling good, get up and go to work and suck it up, you pussy. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be nice to this part of me, and I'm not gonna say, oh, you're depressed and you're weak and you suck, because you're feeling like your rhythm is saying you have to do something different. Just be gentle with the animal that is you, and that animal that is you, when you get back into the heartbeat of what is true for you, will show you your dreams. And then you'll know where you're trying to get to. But so many people I work with have no idea where they're trying to get to. And they're trying to take other people's potential dreams that they dreamed up, or dreams that they dreamed up, and say, oh, I can do that, I can do that. And that becomes overwhelming, instead of just resting and sleeping long enough, vibrationally speaking, away from the ego body that you've been raised on and raised to and train with constantly, so that you can actually receive the dream while you sleep, while you're awake, if that makes sense. Thank you for listening. I'm Stacy Hoch, intuitive life coach, somatic embodiment coach, and author of Imperfectly Sane and Earn Your Luck, a field guide for living beyond your narcissistic parents' wildest dreams. If you dig my content, please like and subscribe. I'm so happy to have you here. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.